Yafa, do you want to say hi? No, you don't. Do you want to say hi? No, she doesn't. Happy Thursday. I am here with the prevailing wisdom of the day. Psych, let me stop. I just had some things on my mind that I wanted to share. Let me pause my playlist. Yeah, I just had some things on my mind that I wanted to share. If you were with me in my earlier videos, I said that when something comes to my mind, I'm going to share it without trying to make a perfect presentation. So today's topic is, are you living a conditional life? And this is brought to you from a real world experience that I experienced this week. So what does that actually mean? Well, basically, are your feelings and are your emotions on how you are experiencing your day based on conditions? In the sense of, do you only feel good if your conditions in your life are perfect? Hey, Tiki! Tiki, look, this kind of reminds me of your logo. What I mean by that. Hey, Grace. Random live too, by the way, guys. So this year, I told myself that, and I got this from Dr. Joe Dispenza, that I wanted to wake up every single day super excited about the day. I wanted to, feel like the day is like you're a kid going on a school field trip the next day. So you are really excited. And I actually experienced that a lot. But up until recently, I noticed that experience of like waking up and feeling happy and feeling excited was conditional. Hey, Trina. So what I mean by that, I started to notice that I only woke up really happy and I only woke up really like excited for the day if I knew I had something to do, in the sense of like, if I had a funnel to build, if I had a strategy to put together. Those are just kind of like my most favorite things. But it's like every single day I'm not going to be putting together a funnel. And also realistically, physically, I don't want to always be putting together a funnel. But I noticed that if I knew exactly what I was going to be doing the next day that was important to my goal, then I would wake up excited and happy. This week, I didn't so much wake up excited and happy. I actually had a little bit of trepidation to wake up. Like I would wake up at 5 a.m. and I was like, I'm just going to sleep till 7 because I wasn't excited about the day. And I didn't notice it may seem like something small, but I didn't notice what was happening. So I have recently made some really big shifts. I'm not going to go into all of that, but if anybody understands the quantum leaping, making shifts inside your mindset and just like your perspective expanding, I went through something really huge like that recently. So I had set a new goal for myself to match this elevated space that I am in. And I don't really know how I'm going to achieve the goal. Now, I'm not worried about it because I have learned through life that I always figure everything out, and there is no point in worrying because you always figure everything out. So you can either have one or the other, worry or not worry. But the point I'm trying to make is I don't have the answers as to what I'm supposed to be doing to achieve this new goal. So I realized then every day this week when I would wake up, even though I wasn't tired, I was like, just like sleep in. And I had to find the encouragement and find the excitement versus if I had the answers as to what to do for this new goal. Oh, I'm jumping out of bed. Oh, I may be getting up at like 3:30 because I'm like, I got to get on this. So it just, in summary, basically made me realize I was like, there are still places where I live a conditional life, basically. That my conditions that I had for myself was that if I didn't have the sort of right answer as into what to do the next day, then I'm not going to feel that excitement that I asked for. Versus you should feel excitement. Well, generally you should feel excitement anyways, because that's the whole point of, every day, right? You're going to find your answer eventually. So it's either you find the joy in finding your answer or you find the joy when you have your answer and you're executing on your answer. So I wanted to just bring that up because I just know that sometimes for a lot of people, and not even in something as like seems so silly as this, but sometimes our happiness is based on conditions. There's a lot of people I have still in my life that like if something goes wrong or then they're like, oh, I'm so mad, like my whole day's thrown off. And I'm like, really? But I mean, at the end of the day, like that's just where they're at, and to each his own. But I just say this to say that hopefully maybe when you are doing observation of yourself, you can see where things are conditional, where you maybe say, yeah, I always look at things sunny side up, but then really kind of pay attention to your behaviors and realize that you don't, that there's tiny places that you do. That's why I had that video yesterday where I was, saying that like, I feel like sometimes some of us, like we say we want to be our most authentic self, but when we answer a simple question on social media, we are answering it to see if it's socially correct, but that contradicts you being your authentic self. So that's kind of like the realization that I had too, is that, yeah, Terry, like you say, every day is amazing, which it really honestly is, but there are still some places that I am not fully embodying that unconditional sort of experience, right? Where my happiness, whether everything is working, whether I have the answers, whether I don't have the answers, I still can find, the happiness in the little things. And I just think it's important because I feel like, especially as you like are evolving mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, our mind makes the shift, our emotions and body take a little bit longer to make the shift, but it's also in those tiny, seemingly unimportant, sneaky moments that we are not fully embodying this new version of ourselves that actually are still what's sabotaging us. And so that's why I just think it's really important to just like slow down and observe yourself. You can see a lot of the past videos I talk about. One of my most favorite things that is like your key to quantum leaping, if that's like your thing, is reflection, because every day it's going to literally show you all the things that you have achieved. And it's not just to be like, oh, I physically did this, I got this many sales or this. It's just like, oh, wow, you know what? Someone cut me off at the red light and I didn't react. I actually was like, oh, you know what? I kept it cool, right? So it's like you can start to celebrate a lot of your wins, the ones that you can't see. And the only way that you can do that is reflecting upon your day and make it better. So that's kind of how I got to this like realization, because last night I was like, thank you, God. I was like, today was like a really good day. I was kind of a little like tired and bummed and things like that, because I'm like, I'm still like trying to get into the receiving mode to find the new answers for these new goals. And then it just hit me. And I was like, yeah, Terry, but you say that every day you want to wake up excited, but your excitement is conditional. And I would not have been able to see that if I didn't take the time to reflect. Hey, Denise. Hey girl, I missed you today at the Q&A. But yeah, I just hope that this will help. Think about all like your emotions and things that you go through. Is your peace conditional? Is your peace only peace if your bank account is full? Do you only have peace if like everyone in your life is behaving the way that you want them to? Do you only have peace if all the things you're doing is working? Do you only have happiness if you're getting all the things that you want, right? So ask yourself, are those things conditional? And the more that we can detach from those conditions and be those things just because, the easier that it is. I'm telling you, I have found, when they say like you find God's peace, like I've found God's peace, and it is so amazing and so unconditional. But I realized that my happiness came with conditions, like my physical happiness came with conditions. So hopefully this will help someone. Like I said, I am staying committed to my challenge of sharing my thoughts without trying to make them perfect, so that there may be someone that may be going through the same thing and can help them at the same time. Oh, okay. Yes. Well, hopefully I'll see you next weekend or next week. But yeah, that's it. That's my prevailing wisdom of the day. Is your life and your emotions based on conditions? Okay. Are you happy based on conditions? Do you find peace only if all the conditions are right? Because that is not how life works. You have to be happy just because. You have to find peace just because. And I promise you, you will see a massive shift. So it was really huge for me to kind of like identify that as well. Because I'm like, well, that also kind of contradicts your like flow of saying, enjoy the journey. Because if I'm not happy because I now set this new goal, this new destination, and I don't have the answers as to how to get to this new destination, so I'm not as eager and excited because I don't have the answer, then that contradicts the new flow. So just thought it was important to share, especially too because I just listened to this seminar from Jim Rohn, and he was talking about, if someone gives you $1 million, better become a millionaire, because you have to have the embodiment to actually manage that $1 million. And so it's just kind of like the same thing. And that's why my favorite thing is always saying cheers to your big leap, because we ask for these things, but we need to become that person that can support that thing. So this new goal that I have, which is not an impossible goal at all. I have no idea how I'm going to do it. I'm just excited, but I was contradicting myself as yeah, Terry, just get in the flow. You set this new goal, let it all come, right? Because how many times do you set a goal and then the answers come, the roadmap comes, the steps come? But I was contradicting myself because I was I want the answers now. I want to know exactly how to do this now. So then, I'm not so excited when I wake up because I'm I don't really know what the answers are going to be. And then as soon as you settle in, right? I pray, I move with intention, which I need to go get my thing. But yeah, so I move with intention, I post something, I get a response, and then I get this new opportunity, and I'm hello, this is a new opportunity to get you to that new goal, but this is a part of enjoying the journey. So again, I bring it up because, like I said, we are constantly evolving into these new versions of ourselves. We're constantly making these big leaps, and the mental body, the physical body, the emotional body, all of that has to catch up. But observing your tiny behaviors, the little tiny things that you're doing, is really what's going to help you step into this new version of yourself. And really, one of the only ways you can do that is through reflection. Yes, Denise, I always feel we are on the same brainwave, Yeah. Okay. Hey, Mindy. So yeah, that's it, guys. I mean, that really, just like I said, I just wanted to share it with you guys. It's so powerful too, because once you make awareness of that, and you because obviously awareness is the first step. And once you have that awareness in your head, then the next time a situation comes up that seemingly meant to trip you up, it doesn't trip you up anymore, because you got awareness now. You got tools that pop up. And it's just so beautiful, because that really is truly where your self-confidence comes from, your self-worth comes from, is those shifts that happen on the inside, the things that seemingly, your false beliefs, the things that hold you back, that don't hold you back anymore. But if you are not slowing down to be aware of those things, how can you constantly celebrate? I'm literally celebrating all day long, because I'm oh my gosh, that side eye that someone just gave me literally would have triggered me. But guess what? It's okay, because I don't know what they're going through. I don't know if they had a bad day. I don't know. So I'm just going to, leave them where they're at and send them some love. And then guess what? The whole energy, the whole vibe turns around. Even tiny things, I'm telling you, it's just down to the tiniest behavior. And really, it's the behavior that you don't deem important. So for example, sometimes my brother-in-law, we call him Jeremy Crumb Zappis, because he leaves crumbs everywhere. And it's not a big deal, but am I leaving someone in a better place to come downstairs and be hey, Mr. Crumbs, clean up your crumbs, versus I don't really care. I will just get the vacuum and clean it up. But it might seem something as little as that. I'm why would I antagonize a situation when it's just it's okay. I can clean it up. It's not a big deal. That's maybe, there could be things where I'm absent-minded. Sometimes I leave the fridge open. Sometimes I leave the stove on. Simmer. Okay? So it's speak life. Speak life into every situation. And just like I said, it may seem tiny, but it's what if that day someone was going through something and it's just the last thing they want to hear is I'm crumbly, So it's just tiny little things. I'm I am really thinking before I speak and thinking before I act. And doing this has caused such massive shifts in my life. Like especially the shifts that I've had this week. So yeah, that's it. I want to show you Yafa, but she is sleeping and she doesn't like to be bothered when she's sleeping, but so I'm not going to disturb her. But that's it, guys. I just wanted to say hi. Not much is really going on. Honestly, I've like literally been asleep all week. I've just been sleeping. I've been so tired. I've been sleeping. I've had like 2.5-hour naps every day. And I just am like finding acceptance that like, you know what, this is like your sleepy season. Like you just need some sleep. So that is just kind of like where I'm at. Taking some courses right now, my own courses for myself. So I'm in some courses that I'm doing some trainings on. And then I am coming up with some new sales content for the course. But I am taking my time on this because I really want to nail it. But yeah, that's it. Nothing too exciting in my world. So yeah, just wanted to say hi. Yes, Denise. Yeah, girl. And that's it. So I'll leave you with this. Reflect on your day. At the end of every day, get used to celebrating your small wins and really think about all of the little tiny behaviors and things that you're doing and ask yourself why. Why are you doing this? Why did I do that? Because it's going to start to really show you things about yourself, especially if you're trying to level up. You never know the things that could be holding you back. And it's just going to help you be more intentional. So now, if my intention is to wake up happy and excited like every day is a new field trip, then I need to do that regardless of if I have the answers or not, because I realized that came with conditions. So now, guess what? I can be more intentional with it. So that's it. So happy Thursday. I love you guys so much. Hopefully, again, this message finds someone that may need it. And in the meantime, in between time, I'll see you guys later.